all the new folks joining us. And we are super happy to be co-locating with the 5th annual Spinnaker Summit. CDF set out to explicitly unite folks and drive collaboration, and we're really excited to see this cross-pollination of our communities. Thank you everyone for joining us, and to all the 5,000 more people who registered for the event, which is triple our first event, which we had 9 months ago. Okay, can everybody hear me? Checking chat. Give me a thumbs up in chat if you can hear me. Okay, we've got a slight lag. All right. Why don't I pre-record stuff? Okay, no worries. All the good drama of a live event. Okay, so let's keep going, folks. Loud and clear. Thank you, Giovanni. Okay, I want to give a shout out to our amazing sponsors for this event. And you can connect with all these companies at our expo hall today and tomorrow. And I particularly want to give a special thank you to our diamond sponsors, CloudBees and Huawei. Now, the Continuous Delivery Foundation is an open source community that seeks to improve the world's capacity to deliver software with security and speed. And just over the next few minutes, I want to take a little while just to share some of the highlights of what we've been up to since our last conference in 2020. So first up, welcome to our newest project, the Ortelius, folks. Ortelius is an open source microservice management platform. The logo showing its Santa Fe roots, and they have just simply a very warm and welcoming community. So welcome to Ortelius. We are glad you can be one of our open source projects and communities. And they join our existing projects. And I want to highlight that you can get to know all of our projects at the talks today, as well as meet leaders in the community at our Birds of a Feather sessions, which look to welcome new contributors and bring you in to contributing to open source. So at CDF, we really encourage cross-collaboration amongst our open source projects. And our Technical Oversight Committee oversees that responsibility. Now, we recently ran an election for 7 new members, and I am thrilled to welcome the following folks who are stepping up to join our TOC. So give it up for Garima Bajpai, Jithin Emmanuel, Andrea Frisoli, Jason Hall, Melissa McKay, Oleg Nenishev, and Steve Taylor. They will be joining Dan Lawrence and Fatih Dokumenci to make up our 9-strong Technical Oversight Committee. Thank you all for stepping up to serve the community, and we look forward to what you will achieve all working together. So our TOC, Marcy, is our Technical Oversight Community. Now, in CDF, we want to welcome everyone to the conversation and to be part of our technical communities. And to do so, we support organizations who are really good at doing this. Last year, we partnered with Black Girls Code and Women Who Code and made a total contribution of $5,000 to their efforts. And this year, we have added She Code Africa to that list. They are an amazing organization. We already had the pleasure of working with them on their mentoring efforts earlier this year, which saw them working closely with the Jenkins and Ortelius communities. We are fundraising through our registration, and I'm thrilled to say that so far our community has donated over $2,000 through registrations. And additionally, we are making a $1,000 donation for every keynote session today. So check out the links if you want to help us with these efforts and to support these amazing communities. Okay, checking chat. Everything's good. CDF is backed and supported by its member companies. And now I'd like to welcome some recent new additions. So first of all, welcome to Ozone, a company tackling complex application delivery and who leverage the Tecton project. Also welcome to Oracle, or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, doing some exciting stuff, especially with ARM processors. And welcome to Dynatrace. Dynatrace are key folks behind the Captain project. And I want to highlight some recent work with Tecton and Captain collaboration and a move towards using standardized CD events from the CDF Events Special Interest Group. If you haven't heard about that group or what they're trying to achieve by standardizing the vocabulary and the events around the CD pipeline, I do recommend you check it out. This will be a very exciting space to watch progress over the next few months. So back to member announcements. Earlier this year, a founding CDF member, Armory, upgraded to Premier and have been instrumental in helping us bring Spinnaker Summit and CDCon closer together. So thank you, Armory, for all your efforts there. And to build on that momentum, today we are thrilled to announce Red Hat, also a founding member, have just upgraded to be a Premier member. Welcome, Red Hat, and we are thrilled to be working more closely with you. And joining our CDF board is Jason Hall, who has also been very active throughout the community and is driving a new project proposal to the Technical Oversight Committee for Shipwright. And check out the talk introducing Shipwright at the conference today. And finally, we also have another brand new Premier member joining today. And for that, I want to cut to something we recorded late last week. Roll the tape. Hey, everybody. And now I'm really thrilled to share some very exciting news. We have a brand new member to the CDF. So I am thrilled to announce our latest Premier member is AWS. And I'm even more excited to welcome someone very special from AWS to join us. Please welcome the author of DevOps for Dummies, the amazing Emily Freeman.
Thank you so much, Tracy. That's so lovely of you to say.
Hi, Emily. We're so happy AWS is joining, and they've been doing incredible work with a lot of our open source projects. I know AWS just recently joined the board of Spinnaker, as well as support the Jenkins project and done some work with Tecton. Maybe you can tell me, how does AWS see continuous delivery? Why is it important?
Oh my gosh. I mean, continuous delivery is so fundamental to a DevOps practice, I think. Your ability to consistently be moving and delivering, ideally high quality working software, But yeah, it's absolutely fundamental to our sort of approach to DevOps. And we're thrilled to be supporting open source and a part of the CDF.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to have you here. So you have just an incredible history with the whole DevOps space. How have you seen that evolving and changing?
Yes, I think that's fantastic. It has evolved incredible amounts, in my opinion. It's been about 12 years since DevOps was created. And I think the ecosystem in which we are now is radically different from the ecosystem in which DevOps was created, right? So when DevOps came about, servers were still in office closets. AWS was a toddler, 2 years old, maybe. Azure and GCP didn't exist. And so, now we have the defaults being microservice architecture, distributed systems, a reliance on APIs. globally distributed infrastructure, usually on the cloud, at least for, new greenfield type of applications. So it's just a totally different mindset, I think. And the thing that I'm really focused on right now is how do we apply the DevOps fundamentals to this distributed ecosystem that we're currently in?
Yeah, and I think we see a lot of people like struggling to make that leap. Is that something you've kind of noticed?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, unfortunately, because DevOps has become this sort of catch-all term, it's lost some of its weightiness. And we've seen a bunch of derivatives, right? We started with DevSecOps, bless the security folks. And then we've continued on, we have like data ops and GitOps and ML ops and AI ops. And it's just a lot of blank ops. So we need to get more creative with naming, number one. Secondly, I think it showcases this need to, while we need to discuss the sort of global approach and think about things holistically, there's also this deep desire to sort of specialize and to be able to sort of periscope into something and actually focus on a very specific part of the software development lifecycle, and not in a linear fashion, right? We always think of the SDLC as this linear process. Well, you design it and then you develop it and then you ship it. And it's like, nope, it's always chaos. You're always looping back to other phases. And even when you release software, this isn't the 70s. We're not writing software for NASA, most of us. And so we have to then loop it back, right? We have to go and innovate and receive feedback and reinvent whatever and then improve. So going back to your continuous delivery.
Yeah, no, I think this conference is going to be guilty of having lots of those terms talked about in the next while. But I love that idea of kind of looping it back and just constantly reiterating. And how do you see things kind of shaping out, do you think, over the next, maybe not long term, no one's going to look long term right now.
I know.
But yeah, with all the kind of changes, remote work, distributed work, and what's happening in the DevOps space.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways, or what are some of the things we need to do maybe as an industry?
Yeah, I think, obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a futurist. I hate that term. But when I think about the next, 2 years or so, I'm really excited and hopeful for what is happening. I think people feel, the situation we've been in over the last year has been stressful. And now that things are coming back, I think we have this lift. We're not there yet, right? Some of us are still tired. It's totally okay. But there's this sort of like reinvigoration. And I'm excited to what kind of invention and innovation comes out of that. I think people are excited. There's a lot of movement in the marketplace as far as people shifting roles. So I think we're going to be in an exciting time. I'm curious what comes out of it.
We're so thrilled and honored you can be part of this, join us for this conversation, and that we can, benefit from yours and AWS leadership.
Thank you so much for having us. We're happy to be here.
Thanks.
Hang on, and you are live.